But something I do want to mention is that Steve is in the 4 Roshi clan. I think he made that after Midget and HyperHero took out Roshi and Tifty earlier. So I think this is a little bit of retribution. Stevenator and Tybo are looking to take out Midget and HyperHero to give that revenge for Roshi.
And you know, I mean, there's something to be said about that. Some good manners, you know, maybe a little like you said, retribution, but already they've got a lot of pressure coming down on Steve and Tybo, but they're dealing with it really well, keeping things real even, and Tybo surviving the huge cannon combo off onto the right. Now both the red team are stuck on that wall, but they are going to find their way back with a nicely planted recovery spin from Midget, getting back onto the stage. HyperHero looking for a little entry with that, looking for a conversion with the cannon. It's going back and forth.
HyperHero commanding a lot of space with that cannon, especially recovery. Such a gigantic hitbox. It has kill potential. It gives you some solid movement. But Steve, it's the bread and butter downlight into the side air, and it's an on-stage down signature. I could probably count the number of those that I've seen kill on half of my hand.
I mean, you could count how many times you see that signature by itself.
On one finger. Because it's been like one, and it was that one.
Exactly. Like, even in Spring Fling with Doughbrain and Starlight, we never even saw that sig, I think. Maybe once.
I think we saw it a couple times, but really no more than that as Midget tries to take Stevenator into the sky. HyperHero still surviving. He does eat a side air coming out from Stevenator. The high variable force, that is a kill option all the time on Hammer.
Now Stevenator with the hammer trying to get a little bit of pressure on a Midget, but HyperHero coming for the assist. Unfortunately going to ground pound Midget out of the map. And now Stevenator and Tybo both have the pressure onto HyperHero, but they're going to back off as Midget does spawn back on. That's going to allow HyperHero back onto the stage. Stevenator putting some pressure onto Midget. That's going to be on the left side. HyperHero coming to assist, but it's going to be a little bit too late as they back off. Give him some space and reset. Tybo taking a lot of damage from Midget. He's going to be taking Tybo off the bottom. And the sig follow-up, another down sig. Gravity canceled off onto the left. That's going to take Steve out. And Steve and Tybo down by 1 stock. HyperHero still holding on to his second into pretty good range. He's still only in the yellow.
Midget's starting to take a little bit more damage. He's getting closer and closer to kill percent, about halfway through orange. That side signature is just getting him a little bit closer. Steve is trying to follow up with another side signature to kill off the right side. Big side air from Tybo. If they could kill Midget as quick as possible without taking too much damage, there's the D-Light into the recovery. Tybo didn't go for the side air because he was on the right side of Midget. Taking him off the top would have been the closest blast zone that he could get to.
Now we got the 2v1 right now. HyperHero trying to make something worth it with the cannon. That range that it has, the combo potential, the string potential, it's right there. If he can land one string, he can potentially push either Steve or Tybo all the way to the edge, put that pressure on them, even if he doesn't get that kill, which at this point doesn't seem very likely. Tybo, getting knocked down, the ground pound coming out, but this help from Steve, that's the danger right now. He can't, HyperHero cannot overcommit to one person on this team, because if he does, then the other teammate is going to come up, give a little bit of assistance. And now, chasing down Tybo off stage. The sword pressure from Steve now coming out. You see him backing off.
Now, HyperHero has missed a lot of attacks. He has thrown out quite a few of them, but there have been very, very few whiff punishes coming out from Stevenator and Tybo. He was just throwing out attacks, and Steve and Tybo knew that they were on their last stock, so they were scared. They were worried to initiate onto HyperHero. He's playing this so smart. He took out Tybo, and he has Steve in the red. We've seen more than a few 1v2s, and that is going to be the clutch for HyperHero.
And you know, that's kind of the story with cannon. It's got a lot of variable force behind it. It's a very dangerous weapon to be up against, especially when you are in the red. And Stevenator, even though he's got the combos, he's got the mindset to, you know, take those risks, get right into his opponent's face, even when he's on his last breath. You take one hit from cannon, you're still out.
And it was that big recovery that took him off the top. All it took was that one. Same characters were going into the stage banning.
Where do you think we're going to go?
I honestly don't know. I would think a big map. If they leave any of the larger maps, I think we might, we're going to go back to Small Enigma. That's what I would expect coming from HyperHero, so he can use that cannon to move around the stage, to be on the left, to be on the right, to be in the middle, all one right after the other very quickly.
And this was just a shout out to Dobrain. When he was playing Cannon in Spring Fling, this was his go-to map.
Yes.
It almost got banned out every single time after people figured out that he had, you know, crazy cannon tech on this map. So the fact that HyperHero, I don't know if he knows how to take advantage of this map in the same way, but you know, we'll see if he does, if he's got the cannon tech on lock. We didn't see too much of that same thing before. I think Dobrain was taking advantage of it with the cannonballs. There it is right there, so you never know.
HyperHero's used it a couple times. I don't think we're going to see him abuse it like Dobrain did, but Midget looking to take Tybo off the bottom. It is so hard to get when somebody is that low damage and you have unarmed, but he was able to get it.
I wonder if he would have been able to get back under the map. With the amount of recovery options he had left, I'm not too sure. Oh no, he ground pounded his teammate, trying to read the Tybo's dodge through, but he did a spot dodge instead. HyperHero ended up hitting his teammate Midget as soon as he came to help, and that is really unfortunate to see. It was a little bit of an overextension on their part, and that is going to give Steve and Tybo a little bit more breathing room as they move into this last kill. The down sig, though, taking out Tybo. Oh no, he's on his last stock now.
Tybo has to survive these. HyperHero hasn't died yet. Stevenator hasn't died yet. Take that back. HyperHero hasn't died yet. Stevenator just died. It is 5 stocks to 3 right now.
HyperHero and Midget are taking these opportunities and they're just running with them. Stevenator and Tybo are having trouble finding a kill onto HyperHero. HyperHero, who is off the stage right now, looking for some advantage to get in on to Tybo and Steve.
Yeah, even with that mistake on the team kill, they had 2 big plays so far. So 2, I don't know if you know this, but 2 is greater than 1.
What,
and even though HyperHero just died, it's 4 stocks to 3. Stevenator's in kill percent. Tybo's right on that doorstep.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Look, you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. I don't understand the magic behind it, but I read it in a book.
Well, if you read it in a book, it's probably real. HyperHero and Midget taking Tybo out and Stevenator. Stevenator on his last stock. It is 2-2 right now. Midget and HyperHero do have the advantage in this set. If they take this down, they're moving directly into winners finals, and Steve and Tybo are going to try to make their run. But Stevenator, we've seen crazier things in the past. Stevenator with a hammer, he's got a little bit of an advantage in the fact that he can still bait Midget and HyperHero into those team kills, into that team damage, and Midget is in the red. If he can take Midget out right here, that's going to give him a little space. But that combo, what the heck was that combo? The down sig
They had to have practiced that.
They had to.
There's no way they didn't practice that.
That was sword neutral into down sig into neutral sig, and that was, you don't see that.
They had the spacing on it perfectly, so it sent Steve to the right. Midget turned around to do the bear, so he would get the up swipe from the bear claw. They absolutely practiced that.